Juls! Juls, baby, Juls, baby.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, Juls. We are so excited to have you here on the Turn Up Sofa. How you doing?
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, lovely. So obviously you've been through it. Music is a big part of you, who you are. What did you grow up listening to? What were your parents playing when you was growing up?
My dad played a lot of jazz records. You know, there was, records like George Benson and, Barry White and stuff like that. But my mum listened to a lot of reggae and high life, so there was Jimmy Cliff. And then there were old school high life artists like CK Man. So those are the sort of sounds that I was hearing. We just grew up with that kind of stuff, really, and then it just sort of like sticks with you, do you know what I mean?
Nice. So, what are some of the names that you would say, yeah, this person definitely influenced my music today?
Jay Dilla, Kanye West, and Just Blaze, those guys are like my crazy influences. I started listening to a lot of Don Jazzy, and how he used to sort of implement a lot of real instrumentation in his production. There's so many influences, but if you listen to music so much, you always hear a particular sound and you're like, oh, I like how that sounds. Yeah. And you sort of like flip it the way you
Was
want
Fela ever involved in kind of like upbringing, or was that just...
I feel like Fela Kuti is, he's like the godfather that really started the whole African sort of music, particularly from West Africa anyway. And because he wasn't just a musician, he was an activist, so he was speaking his truth, his mind, which is really good. And you don't really hear that in music these days. The rhythms would move you, you're forced to dance, but there's still a message in there. So
that's definitely true.
And it's funny you said you started off with hip-hop.
Hip-hop, yeah.
So how did you actually get into the Afrobeat scene?
So the first African sort of sound that I created was with a group called Show Them Camp.
Yeah.
Which is in 2012. It was a song called Feel Alright that featured Bodge the Microphone and Ladipo. I don't know how I came up with the sound. I just started messing with instruments. Yeah. But I started adding a lot of African percussion to the beats. And then I just started like, I like this wave. It's not really African music, but, the language and the way it's being sang has that African influence.
And speaking of Mr. Easy, in 2016, you guys worked together to do Skin Tight. Would you say that was a time, like a pivotal moment in your career when things just shut off?
What happened was Bankolize came out 2014 in November, and all these songs were sort of like marinating, do you know what I mean? And then 2016, everybody was on the vibes.
That was
it. 2016 was a mad year. You know what I mean? That's when things started taking off. Then we created other records like Hold Up, and then there was Shito. Yeah. And then I co-produced Anointing with Team Salute as well.
In regards to that obviously led up to your album called Leap of Faith, which is obviously like a lot of people would tune in. You had a lot of artists on that, of course. How did that come about? Like, how was that? Just making that for you, was it a leap of faith?
I was introduced to Nonso Amadi, and he said, yo, there's this kid, he's a sick artist, you need to work with him. And I sent him the radio record. And, that took off. And then we made more records, and then that's when we made Early. And, I reached out to Malik, and I was like, yo, bro, like, can you bless me with, with that? I recorded Bad with Kojo.
All of them, that's a bad track.
So Kojo and I, both from East London, Notes as well. Notes just came in with his voice. Just vibes. And then we're playing the beat, dum, 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 and Notes was like, we just recorded it straight, and it was like, at first it was supposed to be a verse, then I was like, nah, this could actually be a chorus.
And you've worked with all of these people, and they're singing and you're producing their tracks, but we've never actually heard you sing. So will we be hearing that side of you anytime soon?
I mean, I sing in the shower.
So we're about to check out your video, Oshe.
It's my favorite video.
So tell me a little bit about the track.
It's kind of like different from what I normally do because it's kind of up-tempo. It still has elements in there that I usually use in my production. And I wanted to give it like an essay feel.
Let's check it out.